Hey Huskies, welcome back to examples 3 and example 4 from section 2.4. So we're still talking about the heating schedule. And in example 3, they're saying G is the transformation of the heating schedule, H equals F of T, given by G of T. So here's our new function. Sketch the graph and tell me what it means. Well, here's what it means. Okay, let's start with part B. It means our schedule is 2 hours later, so it's a shift right. So if you want to write this, you shift right 2 hours, the inside, and you shift down 5 degrees. So that's great. There we can use to explain our graph. Well, you shifted right 2 hours, meaning the schedule is going to start 2 hours later and it's going to be 5 degrees cooler. So that's our meaning. It's based on the original. Our heating schedule, describe the words, the new heating schedule begins 2 hours later and 5 degrees cooler than the original. Original schedule. So this might be something maybe in the spring where it's starting to get a little warmer outside. You don't need as much heat. You're going to start to cool it down. It doesn't need to be blaring. Okay, so it could be schedule 1, schedule 2. So to do this, to graph this, okay, it's that 2 hour mark, so I'm going to use my half marks in between. Okay, and I'm going to use my critical values. I'm going to put half marks in between here because it's 5 degrees and it's 2 hours. So it's a little tough for me, so you probably see me duck out, but here's my points again. These same points I use, 2 and 5. So look, over 2, up 5. Over 2, up 5. Over 2, up 5. Over 2, up 5, over 2, it should be down 5. Nicholas, I did all those wrong. So let's go back. Boom, boom. Let's go there, there, there. Oops, that one's okay. So let's try this one again, okay? Let's use a different color. All right, so over 2, down 5. Over 2, down 5. There we go, that's a little better. Over 2, down 5. Over 2, down 5. Okay, so here is our new graph. This is our G of X graph, or excuse me, G of T graph. And we've already talked about what it means. About as good as I can make it here on my tablet. You know, that line in the middle, that line here should be straight. It's not quite because I'm using a tablet. So there's the graph and there's the description. This new schedule starts 2 hours later and is 5 degrees cooler. Let's move on to the last example here. Example 4. And this one can be a little tricky. I'll use Desmos in class to show you this. Back in chapter 1 we had this equation f of I think we had it as A over 250 was equal to the number of gallons, something like this. And we talked about it was 250 gallons in order to paint, 1 gallon painted 250 square feet of this. And they ask us to interpret these results. Explain the meaning of the new thing below. So remember that it was the square footage of the house, and vertically was the number of gallons. So f of A plus 10 is you're changing the outside, you're changing the output, so we're changing this by 10 gallons. So what the part B says is that we need, we have 10 more gallons of paint than is needed. All right, we shifted it up. Okay, we have an additional 10 gallons. That's what it's saying. It's saying, hey, whatever it is, plus 10, you're going to have 10 more gallons always, right? So if it took your house, we just shifted everything up. Here's the original. right? A over 250, and then we added 10 gallons to that, to the output, means whatever you paint, however many gallons, you're adding 10 to that. We're always going to be 10 too many. The inside is about the square footage. So when you have A sub 10 here, you're thinking the graph would be moving left. The graph is going to move left by 10 square feet. Okay, so if you're thinking about it, this means that we have enough paint. We have enough paint ten feet squared early. So we got there early. We finished painting by 10 square feet earlier. Okay, so it was earlier than expected. We finished painting earlier by 10 square feet because we shifted that thing to the left. Okay, that graph to the left. So that's how we can interpret these two results. If you have any questions or comments, please type the questions below. We'll see you next time.